Hello and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Sherry and today I've got another 5-ingredient recipe for you. We're going to be making a rich and creamy Alfredo sauce. So the 5 ingredients that you are going to need are cream cheese, butter, garlic, heavy whipping cream, and Parmesan cheese. So before I get started, let me just say I halved this recipe, but if you're going to use it with like a box of pasta, like a full pound, a normal, like what you're going to feed your family with, you're going to want to double this, and I'll have it listed just like that in the description below, along with a couple of the tools that I'm going to be using here today. But I am actually going to use this to make a spinach and artichoke dip. So be on the lookout for that video as well. But that's why I halved this recipe today. So to get started, I'm going to use half a stick of butter. And we're going to get that melting down. And then I'm going to turn this down just a little bit because I'm getting ready to add some garlic. And I don't want my garlic to burn or it'll get a bitter taste. So I'm going to use my Pampered Chef garlic press. We're going to add some fresh garlic to this. So if you don't have fresh garlic on hand, you can use the stuff out of the fridge or the powdered kind. But I really think in this recipe that the fresh garlic really does the trick. And I would normally do about 4 or 5 regular cloves, but I have a bunch of these little ones I have to use up. So I've got all these little pieces in here I'm using today. But what I love about this is you don't have to peel your garlic cloves. You just toss them in there and the little press does the job for you. All right, set that aside. We'll give this a stir. Got a little bit of garlic there. That smells so good. I wish they would make candles that smell like butter and garlic. I haven't been able to find them anywhere. I bet you they make them somewhere. Maybe I should just start making them myself. I don't know. All right, so our butter is starting to melt down. The next thing I'm going to add in is a half a block of cream cheese. So it's a half a stick of butter and half a block of cream cheese. And I probably should have cut this into cubes, but that's all right. It'll get melting down. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. You're like, butter, cream cheese, heavy whipping cream, Parmesan cheese. This has got to be like the most fattening sauce in the world, right? But you can lighten this up. You can use milk instead if you want. I've used milk before. It's what I used to use all the time. And I'll tell you, because you have the cream cheese in there, it makes it creamy. But there's such a richness that you get when you use the heavy whipping cream. You could even do a half and half if you want it kind of rich, but not, too heavy on your waistline. And typically when I make an Alfredo sauce, I start out with a roux and I make like a bechamel, just a basic bechamel sauce, and I go from there. But if I'm in a hurry or I have like a big crowd to feed, like there's been a few things I've catered before and I've used this recipe just because it is so quick and so easy. And no one ever knows the difference. People always ask me for this recipe, so I know it's good. Matter of fact, Mark and Draven fight over this. Whenever I make this, as he's gotten older now, he's a teenage growing boy, so he eats a lot. Mark and him used to fight over who could eat the most, and they would nearly finish off the whole pot fighting over it. But I've never minded when they asked for this because it is such a quick, recipe to whip up. And I usually have the ingredients for this on hand, So if you are going to mix this in with pasta, one of the things that you want to do is when you're done boiling your pasta, take a little bit of that pasta water and toss it in here with it. Another thing you can do with this, if you're going to, add it to some pasta, you can add some shrimp in there, or you can add some chicken in there. That does sound good. Maybe I should have made a little extra of this today. All right. This is just so much better than what you get in a jar, though. I just think jar pasta sucks. To me, it has like a chemical taste. I don't mind red sauce in a jar sometimes. I always go and like doctor it up myself, but I have never been able to eat white sauce in a jar. Just never. Okay, so our cream cheese has broken down now, and you want to keep whisking this because the butter and the cream cheese will separate. All right, so from here, we're going to add in 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, and you want to keep whisking the entire time, whisking the entire time. Make sure we get the butter all incorporated. Oh, that smells good. All right. A couple other ingredients. When I say 5 ingredients, the things that I don't include are olive oil, salt, and pepper. So a little bit of salt here. And a lot of times in the past, you could even make this 4 ingredients. You could just use a garlic salt. No, that would still be 5 ingredients because I just said I wasn't counting this one. I like quite a bit of pepper too. And you know what else makes this really good? I'm not going to get it out because I have it in a bag up there, but anytime you make a white sauce, just a tiny bit of freshly grated nutmeg. Oh man, that makes all the difference in the world. Okay, so I'm going to turn this back up. We're going to kind of bring this up to a boil, or a simmer, I should say, not really a boil. But that's really about all there is to it. Okay, so you can see how the bubbles are starting to come up in here. That's when we know our sauce is just about ready. So the only thing else we're going to add to this is our Parmesan cheese, because this is what's going to help thicken it up a little bit. And I'll tell you, in most recipes, I really prefer like the freshly shredded, you know, that comes like in the little clear tub, or I like to shred it myself. But for sheer convenience, and I think this actually makes it a little bit thicker, I usually throw in about 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup. And then you just want to make sure you whisk it really well to get all those little lumps out of there. See how it's already starting to thicken up? I wish I could smell this because it smells fabulous. So pretty too. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn my heat off. That's pretty much, see how much thicker it is after you add the Parmesan cheese? It smells so good. All right, I'm going to take a little taste. Like I said, we're not going to put this on pasta. You got to give this a try because this is going to be like your new go-to recipe for white sauce. It is so good. And I might actually put a little too much cheese in there. It's a little thick for my taste. Because it seems like once you put it in the pasta, the sauce really starts to thicken up. So I like to leave my sauce kind of a little bit loose or a little bit runnier. Anyway, like I said, we are going to use this to make a really awesome spinach and artichoke dip. So if you don't want to miss that recipe, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the notifications. And I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.